Outside the Brand is back and better than ever, baby. What's going on, guys? It's Monday Night Raw, and the post show for the show tonight. It started off not too terrible, but as always, as you continue to watch the show, it continues to plateau down a hill that it seemingly just can't climb out of, or whatever whatever kind of metaphor you want to try to do for Monday Night Raw, and it's downhill climb. Raw came to us tonight from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Loff, that's where you're from. That's where you are.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know, Loff. Did you guys seem to take some ZQL before going to the show tonight? I don't know what was going on, but the crowd was most likely dead for the entire show.
Yeah,
and and the thing is, tonight, Loff, Veer never showed up again.
I'm disappointed.
Veer never showed up again. And here's the thing. I don't know if he just got lost on his way to Monday Night Raw, or if he is just afraid of getting released. But I'm telling you right now, if he's not going to come to Monday Night Raw soon, that's exactly what's going to happen to him. He is going to get released before that all takes place. And Loth, we got a new -- 1 contender for the Monday Night Raw Women's Championship.
Whoa.
If you guess Doudrop, yeah, I don't know how you guess Doudrop out of all of this, because, now she's the new #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship, and we're all going to be talking about this right here on the best podcast on TikTok and on YouTube. This is Outside the Brand. What's up, guys? We're back. We are finally back on the podcast for you guys tonight. Holy crap. I had to get back into using our streaming platform and all that, but we're here. We're back. And thank you so much for joining us right here on Outside the Brand. This is episode number 114. I did not forget the number of podcast episodes that we have here for you guys. It's here, and we are still continuing on, as this is your Monday Night Raw post show for January 10th, 2021. I am your host, Phil. I got my boy Loff with me as always, and this is Outside Brand. How you doing tonight, my man? What's going on? It's like that OTB's back.
Yeah, man, that was the best news I got. I was happy to see that. Yeah, Raw was in the city tonight. I mean, damn, I don't know what to say. I mean, SmackDown was better. SmackDown last time was in Philly. I think that was a few months ago. It was better. It was so much better. I wanted to go to Raw tonight, but I had way too much stuff going on. But I'm kind of happy I didn't, because I would have lost my mind if I saw that live, and I probably would have fell asleep in those hard ass chairs watching this show. Because while I feel like
Philadelphia took some sequel before tonight anyway, so
they look dead. They look dead. I understand it's Raw. I mean, it's not SmackDown, so I mean, you can't. There's nothing to get hyped up about for real. You know, no Roman or Brock or anything. Well, Brock was there, but that was one of the worst promos I've seen.
Brock was there, and he was actually in a very good segment tonight, but we'll talk about it.
I hated that opening segment, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But
you hated it? Oh, I loved it.
Oh my God, I was not happy with that. Jesus, but
Brock telling Dynamite jokes is the best thing of all time.
That was great. That was the best part. Everything else was just pointless.
Oh yeah, the attack and everything afterwards, that sucked. But them on the mic, that was great, and I kind of want more. But But guys, we are really back here on Outside the Brand. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. This is the first episode of Outside the Brand in 2022, which is great. Happy New Year to everybody for all you guys that are here. I mean, I know I'm 10 days late, but I was in May when New Year's actually took place. So Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
But yeah, we are really back. And you guys didn't even really know that any of us were truly gone because we were posting on TikTok most of the time. I never stopped posting on TikTok. It seemed like pretty much every time during my vacation, I was either posting a TikTok or just either reading through comments or doing something of that nature. I never try to stop because that's just not how my mindset is. But Outside the Brand kind of stopped because I was over there and we didn't have internet. So we were there. And then when I came back, you guys know I got the virus. I got CV-19. So that put the entire podcast to a halt because I was like, yeah, nah. I don't think I'm going to be able to perform my best with the virus inside my body. So I just said, we're going to put the podcast to a halt. And then once I'm okay, we'll be back. And now, in a very long time, you guys can totally tell my voice is back. You guys can totally tell. I mean, my cough has been gone for the past few days now, so that's great. But now, everything's back. We're ready to go. 2022 is going to be the year of OTB. Let's get it off. Let's go.
Everything. I can't say anything else.
So, Raw started off tonight with a great segment with Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley. And then, like I said during the little bit of the intro, as soon as that segment went off the air, the show just kind of plateaued down a hill that they could not stop running down. And the crowd was pretty much not even half asleep. I feel like they were asleep. That's why they took ZQL during the show tonight. They just weren't into it at all. But it's Monday Night Raw, so that's what it could do to you. We actually had some pretty, kind of exciting things going on in the show tonight. We have new Raw Tag Team Champions in the Alpha Academy, which shocked the shit out of me, but I love it.
Wow.
They've been deserving a tag team championship run for what seems to be since the actual beginning of the pandemic era. When they were actually paired together, I'm like, there you go. That's a tag team I will. Oh shit. Either technical difficulties or you just did not like my opinion. I kind of want to wait for Locke to get back. Technical difficulties. I personally like that Otis and Gable won the tag team championships, and here he is. He's back. You're back. You didn't like my statement or technical difficulties?
My Wi-Fi is. I don't know what's happening.
The Wi-Fi. I was like, oh, that's it. He doesn't like Otis. But yeah, I just felt like they've been deserving it for a very long time. So I was glad that they won the titles tonight. What were your thoughts on all of that?
I was out during the first few minutes of that. As soon I was watching it on my phone the whole time. I walk in the house and I put my phone down and I go to the bathroom. I come back out and Randy is in Otis's hands and I'm like, okay, Randy's about to kick out, and then he doesn't, and I'm like, oh, okay. Wow.
Okay.
That's something. I mean, I figured they were going to lose the belts, but on a random episode of Raw, I did not expect that. But hopefully this means that we can get the Randy and Riddle feud to start going. I imagine they
Yes,
have a rematch
please.
at Rumble, and then RK Bro loses again. That's how I imagine this goes.
Yeah.
Seeming that it was like 3 weeks from now, it just seemed like something that would be like out of nowhere. You know, I'm not mad at the title change. It just caught me off guard because RK Bro, they defend the titles more than a lot of tag teams do.
Yeah, yeah, they did. They really did.
Win. Yeah, they usually win. So that was something interesting. So I mean, I want to see how far this goes. I don't know if this will be like a slow burn kind of feud or if it will just pop off with one of them attacking the other. But as long as we get to a match at WrestleMania between the two, I'm cool, you know. So congrats to Otis and Gable.
I thought that Otis and Gable were going to get a shot at the tag team championships at the Royal Rumble, just like Josh said, and then I thought that RK Bro was going to lose at the Rumble, which would lead to Orton's heel turn, and then we get that whole feud for WrestleMania. But that didn't happen, and we got it tonight, so I was like, well, shit. We might actually be... Riddle and Orton might actually be going into the Rumble, and something might actually be happening legitimately inside the Rumble that'll turn, and we can possibly get it in that way. Because you know there's always little stories heading into the actual Rumble match itself, so maybe that could be the reason why they lost tonight. But yeah, so we got that happening after the Lesnar and Lashley segment. And the thing is, now that they're actual champions, and Gable, I want them to be starting like the booking of them being incredible champions. Because as much as everybody didn't really like the pairing of RK Bro, or not really liking the pairing, but kind of I don't even know the booking because they actually were defending the championships, like you said, for a long period of time. But it's maybe kind of the comedic aspect of RK Bro that people might not have liked. But now Alpha Academy are the champions. And I heard like maybe 5-7 times tonight during that match that Otis was being called a tree trunk. Did you hear that?
Yeah, is that his new name now?
Yeah, listen, if Otis's new nickname is a tree trunk, then I know that they're not going to be known as credible champions. That to me just screams right there that they're not credible champions right now. And if they're just going to be taking... Right. Yeah, so like I need these guys to be credible champions in order for them to actually have a good title run. Because after those two hold the championships, who else is really going to be the team? Because you either it's going to be splitting. You had AJ and Omos, but they were never really a team anyway, so they split up. I think the only real tag team, and he left again. It's really his Wi-Fi. God dang it! But in my opinion, really the only other tag team that's on Monday Night Raw that's legitimately a tag team is Street Profits, and sadly, that might actually be the next feud. Who knows? But yeah, I'm talking babyface tag teams. I'm not just talking tag teams in general here. But yeah, so we have Otis and Gable as the tag team champions in what seemed to be very crazy. Like, it was just a very, very crazy way to go about it. I do kind of want to bring up the next point, but I do want Locke to be in here for that, so yeah. What's going on, guys? WWE, Martin, we did hear about the impact on WWE partnership or whatever is going to be called. We can talk about that if you want. But yeah, we gotta wait for Locke to get back in here in order for us to really talk about anything. So we'll get there. Or if he's just gonna text me, there he is. Oh gosh. Now he changed his profile picture to Edge. Mad Edge. He's mad.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
My freaking laptop sucks. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good, man.
I'm on my other phone right now, so
it's Angry Loft right now with the Angry Edge picture. But yeah, so we need them to be booked as credible champions, and that'll hopefully happen in due time. Big E lost tonight to Seth Rollins, which completely tells you how they're going to be treating Big E going forward. It was clean as a whistle. Stomp, 1, 2, 3, easily. And it just shows how WWE is continuing to use Big E in a way that not everybody is seeming to enjoy. First, Big E was going to retain the WWE Championship in the Fatal 5-Way. Then all of a sudden he was going to lose it to Seth Rollins. And then all of a sudden now we got Brock Lesnar as champion. So we don't know what the heck was really going to happen at day one. But at the end of the day, Big E and his reign for trying to do something in WWE is slowly going downhill. And the thing is, like, it's dead. Like, I don't even know where I could even like categorize Big E at this point because of just how poorly he's been treated.
it's got to be something. I'm not sure what it is. I mean, in my head, I probably would have booked E and AJ to have a match and still ended up with Grayson Waller attacking him, just so neither one really looks bad. Because AJ is having a match with Grayson tomorrow, which is insane to me that he's working both matches. But anyway, I understand why Seth won. I understand why Seth won completely. It's just that I feel like there's more opportunities to put E in a winning position too, only because he was just WWE champion not too long ago, like at all. So I don't think that he should be on the losing end of anything, because I feel like this might start like a slump of him just losing matches. Next thing you know, he's lower mid card, fighting on the pre-show again. And I think that I don't want to say that he deserves that, even though I do think so. Even though I do think that he deserves better than what he's gotten, it's just I think that there's more room for him to grow, and you can't give him that room to grow by just losing on Raw. You know what I'm saying? It's just him being still like in the top 10 contenders for the championship. I don't feel like there should be a situation in where he's losing. I think I would book him just to win still, just so he can still be known as somebody who is taken seriously on the roster, because with Raw, things happen so fast. You take 4 losses and now you're Veer, so it's like you can't or you're released, so it's just like, that's why I get so worried when you have people who are red hot on this roster and then they lose a big match. I'm scared that we're never going to see him again, because it's like the whole Xia Li thing. Xia Li debuted and we haven't seen her since.
Exactly.
Or we may have seen her like the week later or like a week removed from that. I forget, but
it's what happened with Tony Storm and Tegan Knox all those months ago.
And do I think he's going to get released? Probably not. I think they hold him a little bit higher than that, but we know with this company, anything is possible at any given time. So it's just, I don't know. I'm a little worried. That's all.
And by the way, guys, we did hear about all those other releases that happened during the Performance Center and all of Triple H's team and everything like that. You guys already knew my stance. I already talked about it on TikTok. Well, I'm pretty sure you saw that video. But yeah, we knew about those releases. Like Loft said, anything could happen at any time. And when they said, "Oh yeah, no talent was actually going to be released during that day," yeah, they were fucking liars, and they released 2 talent from NXT along with those other guys. But that's neither here or there. But I was just trying to prove Wolf's point, saying that anything can happen at any time, and that's what happened on that day. We see clearly, by the way. Great job with Edge, by the way. That Edge segment was great with the cutting edge.
I did like
just seeing Beth back was great.
I did like that.
But yeah, so that's what's happening with Big E. We all know Seth Rollins is challenging Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, so that's why he pretty much won tonight, because he was. I mean, listen, he's in a Universal Championship feud with Roman Reigns. He has to have his wins, but yeah, it just sucks that it went to the expense of Big E. And again, we will talk about the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins feud situation on Friday, because I'm pretty sure myself and Loth and anybody else that's going to be joining us on OTB on Friday is going to have some words to say about that. And then we got the triple threat match to determine the number 1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, and Doudrop. And, yeah. Everybody and their mother picked either Bianca Belair or Liv Morgan. I don't think anybody really picked Doudrop. And if you did, I don't know how. Should we be mad at this, though? Because it's not a rematch.
That was my dilemma. That was my dilemma, because I hate rematches more than I hate most things in life. And I don't know. I just feel like I do like that they're not giving us a rematch, but at the same time, I just feel like
I'm gonna fall asleep, dude. I'm gonna fall asleep.
They didn't build her up enough. She had a go nowhere feud with Eva Marie. Lost like 4 times against Bianca Belair. I believe in a row. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is in a row.
Yeah, she lost 4 times. She storms in Adam Pearce's office. He says he doesn't give out matches, and then proceeds to give her a match 10 seconds later.
Yeah.
And then now she's just going to Royal Rumble.
Right.
And I feel like she might be Becky. Just saying.
Real? Oh God. Oh no. Oh no. We cannot. Okay. Would you want that to happen?
I don't know what I want with this feud.
I don't know what I want with the Raw Women's title at this point.
I want Liv, but obviously they don't like me, so that's the problem. So I'm gonna just sit there and watch this and hope something exciting happens.
All I'm telling you right now, for me, when it comes to the Women's Royal Rumble, and that's a whole other different story, but it's Bayley or bust for me.
I mean,
please let Bayley be Raw champion at WrestleMania, please.
That's safe, considering she comes back at the Rumble and possibly wins it.
Well, here's the thing: Sasha's not going to be there, so Bayley's obviously going to come back.
I hope so.
One of them has to be there, and it's not going to be Sasha because she's out for 6 to 8 weeks, which is terrible. Sasha, please get better soon.
Please. I miss you.
We all do. And that SmackDown roster desperately misses you. It desperately missed Roman when he was out too.
Pretty much.
And it's going to miss Drew McIntyre because he had medical evaluation on his neck today, and it looks like he is going to be having surgery. So, man, that roster is going to be depleted with Drew McIntyre gone. But that's another story for Friday. But guys, before we get into Raw tonight, I do kind of want to just address the elephant in the room. I believe it was Josh that addressed. No, it was WWE Martin in the live chat that commented about this. Loth, we all know about the Forbidden Door, right?
Yes.
The Forbidden Door, first of all, it's copyrighted by Tony Khan, so we can't use that technically in this sense, but it's a company working with another company, so that's why that term is being brought up here. Impact Wrestling is bringing in their Impact Knockouts champion, pretty much their women's champion, Mickie James, into the Royal Rumble this year. There's a lot of speculation as to why she is back. There is a ton of conspiracy theories and everything like that. But when you heard on Friday that Mickie James was going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble, and I'm not even just talking about the plethora of other announced superstars and everything like that, because I already got smashed on TikTok by it. I don't even want to talk about that. I'm just talking about Mickie James here. When you saw Mickie James and she was going to be inserted into the Rumble, what were your initial thoughts on everything that went down there?
It reminded me of when CM Punk said that he was gonna keep the championship and then like take it to like New Japan and stuff like that in Ring of Honor.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So during the Money in the Bank 2011 build-up.
Yeah. She's on my top 3 of people to win the match, possibly.
Okay. Interesting.
I wasn't overjoyed. I was more of like, huh. You know, I just like, I was more surprised to see Lita. You know, I was just like, it was something. I watched her match with Deonna Purrazzo. Great, beautiful match, by the way.
Great match. Great Texas death match.
Beautiful show.
And the main event of the show too.
Beautiful damn show. But yeah, I watched
main event of the show was a great show, top to bottom.
Yeah, I watched that. Obviously, she retains. I
kind of had a feeling, though. Sorry, I'll have to cut you off, but I kind of had a feeling that she was going to retain regardless because they already announced her as the Impact Women's Champion. So if she lost the championship to Deonna, her appearance would be pointless unless they were going to do the whatever champion came out of that match in the Rumble. So I don't know. That was just my thought on that.
That's the thing.
Did you kind of have that kind of feeling too, or?
Yeah, I don't even know if they're gonna like put the belt on TV on like. I imagine they do.
Yeah.
But it's for a Rumble, so she would take the belt off on her way down to the ramp if she's like running or something. But I don't know. I don't know. All I can ask is that we get a Michelle McCool and like her just like a little standoff because that would make my 9-year-old heart happy. But
that, yeah. Because yeah, we all know their Piggy James storyline, which again,
terrible gimmick, but the feud was cool.
Yeah, terrible stuff. But it was 2009. We were kids. We didn't care.
Yeah.
And Mickie James was phenomenal back then too, and she's still killing it over there, which is great to see. But yeah, Mickie James is in the Rumble. People are thinking now that TNA and WWE are in some sort of partnership, not just with the women's division, but pretty much the entire company. Do you think that Scott D'Amore and Vince McMahon are kind of in cahoots with each other and they're trying to really work something out?
Yeah, I think they're much farther down the line than we may think. I do think a few Impact superstars are going to show up at the Rumble. I'm hoping for Moose. I'm really hoping for Moose. I just hope that they do this the right way because I feel like you can do a crossover.
That's my hesitation. That's my hesitation.
You can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's it right.
Because the thing is, well, I mean, here's the thing. Let's talk about Moose. All right, Moose is the Impact World Champion right now.
Mm-hmm.
He called out Roman Reigns as soon as he fucking won the title.
Yes.
If you saw that promo on Impact, he called out Roman. He called out Kenny Omega. I believe he did New Day. I believe he said something about being a boss. So there's Sasha Banks in there. He called out pretty much everybody that was a champion at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And he called himself the greatest champion in wrestling today. And he's even calling himself a wrestling god in honor of JBL, and he even said that in a recent interview that he did a couple weeks ago. So he's doing it in honor. And he even contacted JBL and all that stuff, and he got the approval for it, which is great. I think that's cool. I think that really is cool. But I think at the end of the day, the booking, like you said, is really what it's going to come down to. Because if we're ever actually going to get a Roman Moose kind of either standoff or feud or whatever, who wins that? Who really wins that? And the thing is, at the end of the day, the last time WWE did a partnership, so to speak, that was with Evolve. And Laugh, do you remember what happened to Evolve after that?
I can't imagine anything good because I barely remember.
They got bought out by WWE, and now Evolve's not even a thing.
Oh my God, I do remember that. Oh, wow.
So WWE doesn't like playing well with others. And I'm not saying that this is going to be the end of Impact Wrestling by any means, because their Impact fandom over there, it is strong and it's deep. And heck, Ring of Honor just invaded Impact Wrestling, so they're fine. But WWE doesn't like really playing well with others. And the thing is, I just don't know. I'm just very hesitant. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I really don't think I have, I really don't think anybody can really fault me on that, you know? And if you do, I don't know how.
Yeah, I mean, I'm worried in a sense. I do think the women are going to benefit a lot more from this potential partnership.
Right, which is going to be the good thing about it, because WWE doesn't really have a women's division, and Impact has probably one of the best in North America.
Yeah, so it's like you're kind of walking that line. But back to the Moose and the Roman thing, I don't even know who you will book to win, because first of all, when Moose tweeted, he had another tweet 2-3 days ago, calling out Roman again. I looked in the comments and it was just everyone telling. It was like, "Oh, no, Roman doesn't know who you are. Who's Moose?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And while I do know that a few people may not know who Moose is due to just Impact Wrestling not being what it used to be, I don't think that he deserves that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously Roman is on the top show, even though WWE and AEW, it's a debate about who's the quote unquote best show. WWE is still a global franchise bigger than any other. So Roman Reigns being Universal Champion, he is primarily at the top of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who you think has the better product, Roman Reigns is still that. Roman Reigns is still the one of the number one guys in professional wrestling, period. Moose being the world champion and him not getting that same exposure that Roman Reigns or Kenny Omega or someone like that is getting, you run the weird course of just having someone as good as him being put to the side, And while Roman winning, if they were to have a feud, Roman winning would make the most quote unquote sense. I think Moose winning would be more beneficial to him and Impact Wrestling, because I think it would give them a lot more incentive for people to watch the show. So if WWE's doing this for themselves, Roman Reigns wins. If they're doing this to help Impact out, Moose wins. Do I think they're looking out for Impact? Don't know. I don't know. I would be more interested in the WWE and AEW thing, then I want to see how that goes, because that piques my interest. But this Impact thing, it just seems really, really eerie to me, and I don't want Impact to end up getting like bought out or something, because they're not to their prime the way I found them, but they're starting to get back on the train, and their train is going pretty fast. So it's not a huge train, but it's moving, and there's a lot of people on it. I'm on it. And you're on it too. So
I got back on it, yeah. All thanks to you, Lou. So
it's happening.
Yeah,
it's slowly happening. So we're gonna see what we're gonna see, but I don't know what you do. I don't know how this goes.
And you kind of segued into a little bit of the AEW and WWE thing, but we might as well go into that too, because that's honestly even still kind of pretty prominent now. As we all know, AEW just had their Battle of the Belts event on Saturday, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't a bad show by any means, but with it only being an hour long, it wasn't as people thought it was going to be. But now, apparently, WWE and AEW are in some kind of project with each other. I don't know what this kind of project may be entailing, but the thing is, to me, I don't know if it's really going to be anything when it comes to wrestling, if you get my drift. I don't really think WWE stars are going to be showing up in Impact. Not Impact. That actually might happen. R-Truth might be going over to Impact, and he's just like, oh shit, this isn't WWE, and he bounces. But which is probably one of the best ideas ever. So take that, Scott. I'll let you have it. I don't think AEW superstars are going to be showing up in WWE TV or vice versa or anything like that. I think with so much other talent that we have over there in AEW, with like all the new WWE talent that we do actually have over there, like an Adam Cole, like a Bryan Danielson, or like pretty much anybody like that. I think we might be trying to get some licensing for either video packages that that WWE or AEW might want to bring to the table or something like that. And the thing is, when it comes to projects like that, that could be just sorted out by lawyers or attorneys or anything like that. But what are your thoughts on this project? Is it something wrestling related to you, or is this just something kind of behind the scenes or anything of that kind of nature?
If it's a whole video package thing, I think that's a great idea, because WWE can't book a Raw, but they can make a video package. They know how to do that. They know how to do anything.
They have a 5-year contract with Peacock that they need to uphold. So doing some kind of video package thing with maybe AEW, with AEW superstars and WWE talent, like that could be a thing.
I mean, I would more so go for, obviously, the wrestling aspect. I think most people would.
Yeah, I love it, but I don't know if that would be a thing.
Yeah,
I just don't know. I just don't know if Vince would have the heart or ego to do it.
Yeah, it would be monumentous. I feel like it would be one of the biggest things ever, because I feel like even during TNA's prime, WWE and TNA was supposed to do a lot, and it never happened. So the next best thing is WWE and AEW, and I feel like you can really build something out of that if it's wrestling related. You know what I'm saying? I think this should have been done around Survivor Series, and then had like a whole WWE versus AEW battle for like the whole show. But that's my freaking insane mind.
Everybody was doing that on TikTok.
Yeah, I would. Oh my god! But I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see about this one. I think it's a little too early in the discussions, because I don't even know if it's 100% real. So I can't imagine Vince and Tony Khan having a great conversation. I just feel like it would just be one of the most like undercutting, passive aggressive conversations you've ever heard in your life.
Right. And here's the thing, Josh. It's not that I wouldn't ever think that WWE and AEW would ever have a crossover. If it was Triple H in charge and everything like that, then yes, obviously, because Triple H wants professional wrestling at its finest, and so does Tony Khan. But Vince and Tony Khan, they just don't mix with each other. So I don't think it would ever happen under Vince's control. Plus, Triple H has been wanting nothing more than to work with other wrestling promotions or work with other companies to make professional wrestling better for us fans. But now that Vince is doing this with Impact, apparently it's Vince's idea, and he's getting all the credit for it when Triple H has been wanting this since the beginning of NXT.
Yeah, man. If Triple H was doing it, I would have had like, yep, this is happening. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Vince, I don't know where his mind's at, and I know Vince. I feel like he walks around with Bruce, John Laurinaitis, and Nick Khan with him at all times. So I don't even know if he can really have a professional wrestling talk with Tony Khan, because I feel like they're just two on different sides of the coin. You know, I think Tony
entertainment, professional wrestling. You can't. Yeah.
I think Tony's really focused on like the actual matches, and even though everything isn't perfect, I still feel like he's in a much better lane than when Vince McMahon is. Cause I feel like he's more focused on getting the Migos to come to day one and stuff like that. So it's just they're playing a weird game right now, and I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can do it. Like, you know what this is? It's like when you. I grew up playing basketball like around like different parks and stuff. Like me and my brother would just go around to different parks and play basketball and shit. And if some people didn't have a basketball, they would have like a soccer ball. And if you know what a soccer ball is like, you can't shoot a soccer ball into a basketball hoop because it's either too small or too big, or it'll bounce like shit off of the rim, and it's just really a hassle. That's what I think these guys are doing. They're trying to play the same sport, but they're not using the right ball. So it's just weird, you know. And while it can work, the ball can go in the hoop. It's going to take a lot of help, and I'm not sure if these two really want to. I'm not sure these two want to play the same game right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and who in the world wants to be in the room when they say they put Roman and Kenny in the match and say who wins?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Booking that, because that's going to be a firestorm,
dude. Man. Oh, and don't even have Cody and Triple H be in the same room either, because that's going to be an entire disaster in itself. But yeah, we did kind of want to just bring those two stories to light. We're already 42 minutes into this live, but you know what? There are big things going on right now. Those had to be discussed. So I'm glad we talked about that. It's time to get into the normal showing of this podcast. As we all know, selling out is probably one of the greatest gimmicks that we have on here. So I'm going to sell it to you guys right now. We are back, and that is what matters here on the first ever episode of 2022 for OTB. Episode 114 is here. Monday Night Raw review. December 10th, not December, Jesus, I'm still back in 2021. I don't want to ever be in 2021 again. January 10th, 2022, it's here. It's actually January 11th right now. I am officially 24 years old.
Happy birthday, Bill.
Not technically yet. 3 o'clock in the morning, I will be. But we're not going to be staying there till then. I can't stay there till then.
I promise.
But we'll be there in no time, and you guys can wish me happy birthday then. It'll all be fine. But trust me, you don't have to wish me a happy birthday. I'm not that conceited. You don't have to if you don't want to, but there you go. I'm moving on. Enjoy the show tonight. This is OTB's first episode of 2022. So without further ado, if we can get this thing to 12 likes on our first episode back, that would be greatly appreciated. Hit the bell for all notifications. Turn on, hit that subscribe button, as well as we are on the road to 500 subscribers. But considering that we're on the road to WrestleMania, and Royal Rumble's not too far away, WrestleMania is not too far away either. It's only in a few months. So if we can get to 350 subscribers by WrestleMania, that would be great. You know, that's a personal goal I want to achieve for OTB in 2022, and 350 by WrestleMania, that would be great. So notifications turning on to all of them. You hit the thumbs up to 12 likes. You turn on that subscribe button as well, and you get us to 350 by WrestleMania. That would be great, right? But that's it, guys. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw for real. We're gonna be getting into the show. It took us a long time to get here, but you know we are here. And Monday Night Raw started off pretty okay, but then you just plateaus. We started off Monday Night Raw with Paul Heyman introducing Brock Lesnar, the WWE champion, and he's just absolutely loving it. He's loving life right now as WWE champion. He's got the ponytail. He's in his farmer outfit. He's doing a great job just being Brock Lesnar. And Brock shouts out Philadelphia, but gets interrupted by Bobby Lashley and MVP. First of all, Brock Lesnar as a babyface with Paul Heyman, that's just something I'm going to have to get used to, but I'm starting to love it right now. I don't know what it is about Brock and babyface.
It's good. I'm happy to see him on the show every week, because when he won the championship, the first thing I thought was like, oh my God, he's not going to be on the show. We're not going to see the belt. And he's been here so far. So, I mean, I can't imagine he's here next week because I feel like it's too long. He's been on the show, but I mean,
I told you guys, maybe Brock as a babyface as champion is going to be a different kind of Brock Lesnar than a heel Brock Lesnar with a championship. And it looks like it is so far, so let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
So Lashley and MVP interrupt Brock and Paul Heyman. They come down introducing the Almighty. Lashley says that it's an honor to be in the ring with Lesnar and share the spotlight. And Lesnar said it's an honor to be in the ring with Lashley, to share the spotlight. And as one super athlete to another, it's an honor to look him in the eye and tell him that for 20 years, Lesnar has been running from Lashley. Brock says, with all due respect, it's an honor for him to be in the ring with himself. He says that he's been winning championships all over the world for those 20 years, so that's on Bobby. He didn't really know how he was until day one. Lashley had stepped up his game, and they may have to be in the ring together sooner rather than later. Lesnar compliments their clothing, saying the long coats and everything like that, saying how many stitches is that and all that. Like, he's been trying to actually just kiss up to Bobby Lashley. And Lashley pretends to laugh at it. Lashley then says that he can be a comedian after losing at the Royal Rumble. Brock says that he's funny and he is money, then proceeds to tell a knock-knock joke. He says, knock, knock. Who's there? Brock. Not Brock. He said Bobby, right? Bobby who? And then...
Yeah.
Exactly. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Everybody started, well, I don't know if everybody started laughing in Philadelphia, but I kind of got a chuckle out of it just because Brock Lesnar is saying a knock-knock joke. And even Paul said, listen, Brock Lesnar doing a knock-knock joke in Philadelphia. I thought I've seen it all. So even Paul Heyman was even flabbergasted by all of this. And the thing is, Paul Heyman's great. Paul Heyman and his mannerisms when it comes to just him and the segments that he's involved in or even chooses to write for or whatever, like, he's great. So I really got nothing bad to say about Paul Heyman and the segments that he is a part of or whatever he writes for his clients or anything of that nature. So I'm fine with that. Brock Lesnar, literally, he drops the mic after saying the joke. And then it leaves with Paul Heyman, Cedric Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin, who are seen talking with the almighty Bobby Lashley before they actually went out to the ring to interrupt Brock. They come out and they attack Lashley from behind because Lashley, he pretty much just shrugged them off. And they're like, yeah, no, we're not back together. What the hell are you even talking about? So yeah, they attack Lashley. And Lashley just goes rogue. And he then just squashes Shelton and Cedric. And just sends Alexander into the barricade, and that was it. So they don't even care about Brock Lesnar. They just run right past Brock Lesnar just to get to Bobby Lashley. But then again, I wouldn't want to attack Brock either. But then again, I wouldn't want to attack Bobby. I wouldn't want to attack any of these guys. These guys are way too much bigger than I am. And the thing is, if you're Cedric and Shelton, who have not been used in months, I don't know what you're doing. What was this? Why'd you even have to attack?
I don't understand the purpose of it. I guess they felt disrespected by Bobby, which is understood, but I'm not getting any amount of friends to attack Bobby Lashley. I feel like we're all gonna die. You know, I just
right.
That doesn't seem like a good business decision to make. But I mean, I was more so confused with. I remember when they bought their Hurt Business shirts back, and I was like, oh, they're putting the stable back together. No, they're just calling Shelton and Cedric the Hurt Business, and Bobby is separate. Bobby and MVP are separate from that, which is very funny to me. But I mean, they wore
them tonight, right? Like that's what they were trying to set up.
Yeah, they wore them tonight. They did the little backstage segment. Bobby brushed them off, and then they got mollywopped a few seconds later. So it's just like,
right.
I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do with that. I don't know if they're gonna have the Hurt Business interfere in the match. I hope not. I think this Brock and Bobby match should be clean as a whistle. Whoever wins just wins, because we know how WWE likes to ruin stuff like this. And by planting a seed as if the Hurt Business is still angry with Bobby, I don't want them to end up helping Brock win. You know, 'cause I feel like it would taint this really good match between these two huge freaking monsters. You know,
and a lot of people didn't even want the title on this anyway. So
yeah, I mean,
but that's a whole other different kind of story for it.
Yeah, that's something totally different. That's all complicated at once. But
yeah, I understand your point. You just don't want the Hurt Business or Shawn and Cedric really to interfere and cause this once in a lifetime type matchup.
Yeah, and only thing about this, like, it was cool seeing them talk to each other, but Bobby's mic skills sound like he's gargling water while he's talking throughout the whole.
That's why he's had an MVP with him this entire time, because he can't talk.
Yeah. Next week, it should just be Paul versus MVP. Even though I feel like MVP is going to get eaten alive by Paul, I think that would be a better thing, because Brock is getting there. I'm not going to say Brock is terrible. Brock is getting there, because Brock is, over the years,
I feel like Brock mollywopped Bobby tonight on the mic.
Oh, he did. He did for sure.
He killed him.
I couldn't get past Bobby because it was just I never liked his mic skills, and I feel like I feel like Brock's delivery on the you're a Brock Lesnar wannabe. I don't know if it was the delivery, but he dropped the mic, and I was like, that's not a drop the mic bar. I wasn't like, ooh, it was just like, oh, and then he just walked off, and I was like, oh, that's it. I thought we were gonna get something else, but I mean, we got like 3 weeks left, so.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, this is only the start of the feud, and the thing is, with it being only 3 weeks left, we can totally build upon this. Which is actually kind of shocking for WWE, because they don't usually start off feuds of this type of nature in this type of way so soon, we usually get this on the last show before the pay-per-view. So
Yeah.
the fact that they're actually doing this now with 3 weeks left,
Yeah.
or 3 weeks left now, that's kind of saying something. But I was saying earlier, I think Bobby Lashley is that kind of guy to where you just don't need him to talk. You have him with a guy to have him do the talking for Bobby, and he can just go to the ring, kick some ass, and leave. He's always supposed to bend that way for me. And the thing is, at times he's been that way since his comeback in 2016. I believe his comeback was 2016. If I'm wrong, please tell me in the chat. But that's always just the way that Bobby should have been treated for me. Just him going to the ring, kicking some ass with a manager that could talk for him, because he just simply couldn't talk. And he couldn't talk back then either, from what I was aware of.
I was saying the first year after he came back, before the Hurt Business stuff really came back, I always thought it was funny that MVP just likes making stables with Bobby. Like, they had the Beatdown Clan with Kenny King and the other dude in TNA. I like the MVP keeps trying that. I mean, it works, but it's just like, for the first year of Bobby coming back, I don't think he should have said a word. Like, he should have just not said anything. Like, all messages should be just conveyed by like whiteboard messages or something. He does not need to say anything. I feel like, no, that's what I saw. What culture? I think what's his name? Adam Blampide. I forget how to pronounce his last name. He booked this storyline for Bobby. He like only talked in like whiteboard messages, and I was like, that is actually brilliant, because he doesn't have to be put in front of a mic knowing that he's not the best with the mic. He's best at going in there and being a monster, you know? So if he just had a full year of just not saying anything and found a way to win a championship without saying a word, I think that would put much more legitimacy in his character. But MVP being there is a good shot in the arm too. So I mean, it can go both ways at this point. I just don't want him talking for long amounts of time. I can't.
Yeah. Bobby Lashley returned apparently in 2018. Oh, my bad. Oh, the night after WrestleMania 34. Okay.
Really?
Wow. Okay. I thought it was 2016. Damn. Okay. Why do I've always had him returning in 2016 in my head.
He was doing that stuff with Drew at that time, right? When Drew was like Drew Galloway. He was like the TNA World Champion at that point.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, because right here, return to Impact Wrestling, championships reigns 2016 to 2018. Yep, after the match, he continued to assault Angle until a runoff by Drew Galloway. Okay, yep. So that's it. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I had the whole 2016 from. But all right, Mo, thank you so much for coming by, man. Sorry we didn't really talk about Raw up until that point, but yeah, you can always come back, and the podcast will always be right here. So speaking of Raw, we got the Raw Tag Team titles next. RK Bro, Alpha Academy. This honestly was not that bad of a match. Randy Orton and Riddle are always good together. Randy wrote on Riddle's hands, tag in Randy, before they actually went out to the ring.
Yeah.
Randy was like, hey, I know you're dying to just say something right now, so what is it? And then Riddle then proceeds to ask what type of Philly cheesesteak Randy would like after they retain the titles and after the show.
God.
Now not from Philadelphia. So I don't know. I mean, I knew what they was talking about. Like, obviously, I knew it was Philly cheesesteaks that they were talking about, but I never heard of the places, honestly, because we don't have them here. We don't. So explain to me, as a Philly native, what was going on during all that?
I was angry during this, and I heard the crowd boo, so I knew they were smart Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. So they were booing this. This wasn't a good thing for Philadelphia.
No, it's a terrible thing. This is the thing. Pat, if you were to come to Philadelphia as a tourist, like if you didn't know me, you just came as a tourist just because you wanted to like visit, whatever. Pat's and Geno's are landmarks in the city, but they make really bad cheesesteaks. They use Cheese Whiz. They don't do it right. It's really bad. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when people aren't from the city, when they walk in here, it's like, all right, let's go to Pat's or Geno's. I'm like, no, sir. You're not going to get a good cheesesteak there. You're going to get a nasty-ass cheese sandwich. If you want to go get a good cheesesteak, you have to go in a dangerous neighborhood. That's what you have to do. It's not the most ideal thing. It's not the most ideal thing. But you're not going to get a good cheesesteak if you think that you're not in danger at some point.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
I'm being completely honest with you. I do not like how dangerous the city is right now because it's very scary. Honestly, honestly, it is. But
yeah,
getting a cheesesteak, you have to go into like a inner city. I'll say that inner city cheesesteaks are better than outside the city cheesesteaks just because they actually know how to make them. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same if you go somewhere that is like a mom and pop store. We call them like pop stores.
Okay.
Like those little corner stores. You're gonna get a real cheesesteak from there. Everything else is artificial and nasty. Don't do it. You feel me? If you want to get a good cheesesteak, you got to go to a corner store somewhere, and just eat that because you're not going to get the full Philadelphia experience. Like I remember I was in Florida, and I was driving, and I look to my left, and I see Philadelphia cheesesteaks on the window, and I almost stopped the car on the highway. I'm like, hold on. Like, wait a minute. I'm in Florida. How
we're not in Philadelphia anymore. What happened?
So I'm saying, I'm looking at the window. I'm like, they're like Philadelphia cheesesteaks. Come now. I'm like, I'm not walking in there. If I walk in there, I'm gonna scream at one of y'all. Because you can't do that. Like, you can't just say Philadelphia cheesesteaks just because you think you make the cheesesteaks right. That's not how that works. That's like gimmick infringement. You can't do that. So yeah, don't go to Pat's and Geno's.
Okay, Geno's.
Don't go to Pat's and Geno's.
No Geno's for me. And apparently, Randy even said Geno's that he liked more. So
of course he did.
So yeah. Gable goes up to the top, and Orton catches him, then climbs up and hits a superplex in honor of his father, of course, because we all know Cowboy Bob Orton. Yeah, he didn't really invent it, but that was his move. Riddle then goes to the fans and gets them all hyped up at ringside as Randy drops to his knees and punches the mat for the RKO. Otis then attacks Riddle and gets on the apron in time for Gable to miss a splash, but make the tag. Orton then rolls up Gable, but lets go and looks for an RKO, but gets shoved into a power slam by Otis for the surprise 1-2-3 pinfall. And we got new tag team champions. It was a very shocking decision, but I think it was honestly the right one. If we're going to start the Randy Orton Riddle feud for WrestleMania, you have to have had them lose the championships. Whether it was here or whether it was at the Royal Rumble, it didn't matter to me. You have them lose the championships to a credible enough tag team, and that is Otis and Gable. Now, the way Otis and Gable are positioned as tag team champions here, that's a whole other different kind of story. But you already know what we want from them. If you heard us talk earlier on in the podcast, early on in the show, we want them to be known as credible champions because we feel like they've deserved it for a very long time now, and now they finally have it. So let's see where they go.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's interesting because I feel like they deserve this, but seeing that there's not many tag teams on the roster, I think it's RK Bro, the Street Profits, Alpha Academy. Is that it? I can't think of any role
Ziggler
tag
and
teams.
Roode, technically.
Oh yeah, Dirty Dogs. That's 4.
And that's it.
That's it. That's insane, by the way.
Yeah, that's it.
They have to combine the brands, but anyway. Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Dude, we'll probably talk about that tomorrow with everything.
Oh my God, yes.
We should talk about that. We need to talk about the brand split ending tomorrow because it's a desperate thing that they need to do. But we'll talk about that tomorrow, so stay tuned for that.
Facts.
But
yeah.
yeah.
Alpha Academy, I know they're gonna have a long feud with RK Bro just because they just beat them, you know what I'm saying? But the company is in dire need of tag teams, and I don't want their tag team run to consist of Street Profits, RK Bro, and Dirty Dogs wins, because all you're gonna do is just mismatch the players. You're gonna mismatch everyone each week. Otis versus Montez. You're gonna just flip around as the feuds go on.
Right.
And it's just it kind of, after a while, with only 4 teams, it starts to clash, you know. And now we're
having
back in rematch
4
world.
singles matches up until a point where they actually have to team up with each other is not a real feud. You can't have Otis versus Montez, Otis versus Angelo, and then Chad versus Montez, and Chad versus Angelo, and then you just have the tag team title match. You can't. That's not a real feud to me.
I mean,
or mixture of 8-man tags or 6-man tags or whatever have you. That's not a real team. That's not a real feud to me.
I don't think.
But I know that's how they do it all the time. So.
Yeah, I don't think they know how to book tag team matches, and I think booking tag team wrestling is probably one of the most underrated and difficult things to do. If you are like a wrestling promoter, not promoter, but booker, because you're trying to account for 4 people at once. You know,
it is a hard thing to do, feud tag teams.
Yeah,
because there is really only so much you can do, but you're
walking a really tight rope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Josh, I don't know who's going to be here for the podcast tomorrow, whether that's Anthony or Soup. I'm going to have to talk to one of them. But yeah. I agree though a lot. It's a very fine line on trying to how to feud tag teams, so it's very weird.
Oh, one more thing. I'm very happy with Otis, because when he was doing this thing with Heavy Machinery, I did not like that. I thought it was really bad. I thought it was corny. I thought it was stupid. Am I a big fan of it right now? I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm always down for a superstar who was looked at as like a comedy jokey joke kind of guy being looked at as serious now. I do think he needs a new finisher, because I think the World's Strongest Slam, I feel like they were holding their tongue trying to call it that, but that's definitely Mark Henry's move. You know what I'm saying? In my heart, that's Mark Henry's move.
Oh yeah.
So I think he needs a different finisher, maybe like he could do he can still do like a power slam or a power bomb or something like that, but he definitely needs a new finisher sooner or later, because the World's Strongest Slam is not. It works, but it kind of looked funny because it reminded me of when Mark and Randy were doing their feud, and like Mark used to like actually beat Randy with that move on like their SmackDown stuff. So it reminded me of that. But
unless Mark actually gave that to him to use and he's doing it in homage of him, that's fine. But if it's not, then I agree. We need to have some kind of finisher that'll actually just separate him from the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
But and the thing is, I do actually kind of like that you brought up Otis, because the thing is, like, they may be just saying it for storyline purposes, but honestly, if it wasn't for Chad Gable, I don't know if Otis would be here in WWE. And that's being dead serious.
Probably not. I mean, I think it's.
I think Otis is real life. I mean, WWE life really changed when he teamed with Chad. I honestly believe that. And the thing is, Chad Gable, I think, saved Otis's career.
He probably did. Heavy Machinery was never what I feel like it could have been.
It could have been, right.
I saw more in Otis than I saw in Tucker, even though I didn't like the team. Do I think Tucker should have got released? No. But I remember when the turn happened, when he like hit him with the briefcase or something like that. I remember that, and it was like, huh. And let's see how this goes. It reminded me like a
I think they released like Tucker a week after.
Yeah, it was like a regular traditional breakup, like Batista and Ray, or Shad, RP Shad and Shad and JTG. You know, it was just like the bigger guy, the taller guy breaks up with the smaller one. You know, and it didn't work. Cause I feel like they both weren't going anywhere. Then they gave Otis the Mandy Rose thing, and that was something, I guess. He's been in a weird road in WWE. So him being, I think this is his first belt. So I'm happy he got this. But
yeah, I believe this is his first title too. So
he's been in a weird kind of loop in the company at the moment. So I am happy that he's still here, because I think there's really something there.
Yeah,
I think there really is something there. And Chad Gable being one of the best wrestlers in the damn company, arguably the best, just out of pure skill. But
yeah,
I'm very happy that he just kind of revitalized Otis and really got a somewhat sustainable tag team out of it, because they are champions now. So
yeah. And obviously they see something in them, otherwise they wouldn't have put the titles on them to begin with. So
yeah.
But they should have put the titles on them a long time ago, but I'm just glad we got it now. Speaking of champions, we got the United States champion who declared for the Royal Rumble tonight, Damian Priest. He teamed up with the Street Profits, like we mentioned earlier, but they also took on the Dirty Dogs and Apollo Crews with Commander Asmiz in his corner.
There you go.
So I feel like this was a very heavily heel show tonight, and the thing is, a lot of pretty much I feel like almost every heel won, because the Dirty Dogs and Apollo Crews picked up the win here in this 6-man tag. Well, 8-man tag. Yeah, 6-man tag. Yeah. It was a zigzag for the win. After a Bobby Roode spine buster, it was the spine buster zigzag combination that they do. It seems like they've been teaming for like 7 years, and they finally have a tag team finisher, but they have it.
They've been doing that for like a few weeks now.
Yeah. So I'm glad they actually have a tag team finisher that looks pretty decent too, I have to say. So,
yeah.
But the Dirty Dogs and Apollo Crews did pick up the win here. I'm not going to be shocked whatsoever if Apollo Crews gets the United States Championship opportunity during the pre-show of the Rumble. Mainly just because if Apollo Crews is doing some kind of thing with the United States Champion here in a 6-man tag, they're looking at it. So, even though I feel like Apollo Crews said no to United States Championship opportunity during one of the open challenges, and I don't know. That might just be slipping my mind. But
I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did.
I feel like he said no at one point. And then and I think that's when the Dirty Dogs started getting back into this. So that's probably where I'm getting it.
Bobby deserved the championship shot.
Bobby deserved. Well, Ziggler deserved to win the title. that 1
I
week.
thought he was going to. I almost popped last week. I thought he was going to. That last zigzag spot almost got me.
He deserved to win that title, man. I was going to be so happy.
Almost got me.
But yeah, the Dirty Dogs and Apollo Crews did pick up the win here. Apollo Crews was actually in the last Intercontinental Championship match at a pay-per-view, believe it or not. I told you about that. You were flabbergasted. If you guys don't know, I'm just going to address this quick before we get into the Seth Rollins thing. The Intercontinental Championship has not been defended on pay-per-view since WrestleMania, Night 1. And I'm talking about WrestleMania 37, Night 1. Nigerian drum match. You remember that?
Yeah.
That fucking terrible match at Big E?
Yeah.
Not Big E's fault. Not Big E's fault. Again, I preface that that was not Big E's fault. Because I know the Big E marks are going to come after me.
That wasn't even Apollo's fault. That was just...
Yeah, that was
ridiculous.
Just a terribly booked feud and match. Shinsuke is now injured, and he's been injured for the past 2 months. He's been champion for 4 months. He hasn't even defended the championship, but he hasn't even defended the time. But nobody has defended the Intercontinental Championship since WrestleMania. But that's WWE to blame, right, Josh? So if you want to devalue the Intercontinental Championship that much to the point where you're not even defending the championship since WrestleMania, that's on them. Seth Rollins is in the ring, and he says that he is very excited for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view because that is the night where he's going to become the new Universal Champion. That's right. It's going to be the Tribal Chief versus the Visionary, brother versus brother, Shield member versus Shield member. He says we may be wondering how we got to this match, but he doesn't need a penguin-looking snake oil salesman to do his work for him.
That's just me.
Yeah, like Paul Heyman's been called a walrus. Paul Heyman is now being called a penguin-looking snake oil salesman. Like
He does look like he sells something.
that's besides the point.
He does look like he sells something. That's crazy.
He says that he's going to beat Roman Reigns every single time. And I think he has. So,
Oh, God.
yeah. Well, actually, no, that's not really... Wait. No, I think that is true because he did win. He won the WWE Championship when he came back on Money in the Bank, right?
I thought he pinned Brock or Roman.
I got no idea. I'm talking about the Money in the Bank where he returned at Extreme Rules all those years ago, right from that knee injury, and then he went to Money in the Bank. That was so long ago. I don't know.
I'm thinking of when he cashed in at Mania. That's not.
Oh yeah, no, he pinned. No, I think he pinned Roman.
Huh.
He pinned Roman because he put his head down saying "Thank you very much."
Yeah.
I think he pinned Roman. So yeah, I think he's pinned. I think he's beaten Roman every single time, which we'll see. Biggie then comes out and he's got some incredible news. Well, he's thrilled for Seth Rollins. He's happy for the man. He's a happy boy. You see, he's entering the Royal Rumble match, and not a lot has made him excited, but doing what he did not get to do at the Day 1 pay-per-view, and that is beat Seth Rollins one-on-one. Only this time he can do it for the WWE Championship, and only this time he can do it at WrestleMania. This was the match that I booked I don't know if it was WrestleMania 37, but it was WrestleMania 36 when we were supposed to get this. And then when we were supposed to get a crowd but didn't because CB19 happened. I booked this type of match like 2 years ago for WrestleMania. And obviously it never happened, but yeah, we got it here tonight on Monday Night Raw. Big E challenged Seth Rollins to a match, and Seth Rollins says, listen, I'm going to make no excuses. You're going to have this match, and Rollins accepts the challenge. So we had Big E versus Seth Rollins. Not a bad match whatsoever, but this is where the crowd really started getting dead. This is where the crowd started taking Ziggler. Because this crowd was absolutely dead for the majority of this match. How are you dead for a Seth Rollins Big E match?
I think probably because we've seen them in the ring too much in the past like few days or few months. So it's like it's just I was watching it. I wasn't 100% into it because I imagined what was gonna happen. There was no interest in it. There was nothing on the line. It was just impromptu match. And it's really hard to get the crowd interested in impromptu matches because they're out of nowhere, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like WWE is trying to do that again. 'Cause I remember they used to do that a lot. Like back in the day, they used to, like from like that 2007 to 2009 point, they used to do impromptu matches like a lot, you know? So I don't know if they're slowly getting back into that, or if they're just trying to try some stuff out for now. But it's really hard to get the crowd interested in the impromptu match, no matter who it is, you know. So it's just, I think that was an aspect of it, and none of them really. Once you got to that point in the show, you gotta find a way to hold the audience, and I don't think a match between those two, who we just saw last week in the same ring, even though it was a fatal four-way match, I'm not sure that's something that people even like wanted to care about, you know.
It tested this feud a few months back, I feel. At a WWE live event, they had Seth Rollins going after the WWE Championship when Big E was champion. They had him go for the WWE Championship at live events, obviously, just to test this feud out with crowds. And it seemed to be working then. But to me, I even tweeted this out, it just goes to show you that how bad this match really could have been crowd-wise. If we really did get the singles match that we were supposed to get when Rollins really did win that contract in that ladder match. Do you feel that way, or is that just something, I think it was just, you may be just thinking that it was just Philadelphia tonight?
I think it's a little bit. It's got to be a little bit better because I've seen that place start rocking for a show. Like Philadelphia usually is one of those like crazy like crowds, you know. I would say that even if I wasn't from there, but it's just like that. Like you got like Philadelphia, Chicago, sometimes Florida, California. Like those crowds are usually like hot.
Yeah, those can get rowdy.
You know,
especially for people that they really love and adore.
Yeah, and it's like, it's just, if this was a pay-per-view, like if they did like day one in Philadelphia, I think that would have been something insane. I think they would have a lot to pop for, you know what I'm saying? But shows like this is just like, it's Raw, so Raw takes out a lot of energy from you, and they were just all sleepy. That's what Raw does best. It makes you sleepy. So I mean, I still think if it was SmackDown, it would have been much better because SmackDown was in Philly like 4 months ago, I think, and it was a somewhat good show. And from what I remember, the crowd was not asleep, you know. But even when AEW went to Philadelphia, that place was rocking.
Yeah,
I watched it. I watched it the whole show. That place was rocking, and it's just Philadelphia crowds are usually like wrestling crowds. You know?
Yeah, you were so quick to come on here that night.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was insane. I kind of wish I went to that show.
I believe you said, or one of us said that was probably that was probably like the fastest 2 hours of television for that week.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It went by so fast. The crowd was screaming for the whole show. Usually when they have I think they had the Rumble that Roman won, I think was here, and they booed him out of the freaking
they
building.
booed him out of the building.
That was a night I remember. I wish I went to that show. Dude, oh my god, that was a freaking night. I was near there, and that place was roaring. It was.
That was the night that kind of reinvigorated my love for. Well, not really love for professional wrestling, but I was like, all right, yeah, this is gonna get good.
That was a different night. So it's like Philadelphia usually puts out their best foot forward when it's for crowd. So even though I think it's a little bit of both, I'm gonna probably put it on the fact that Raw just sucks, because there's nothing to cheer about with this show. If I was there, there's very little I would have cheered for. I think I would have popped when Bianca and Liv came out, and then I would have started booing my ass off once I saw the result of that nut ass match. But we're gonna get to that. But yeah.
Oh, speaking of the crowd still sleeping, it was this kind of segment right here. Probably one of the worst Raw segments I've seen in quite some time. We legitimately saw a breakup between two girls tonight on national television.
That was something. That was something.
Rhea Ripley officially breaks up with Nikki Ash. They legitimately break up. Nikki was even asking, can we still be friends? This was a legit breakup here on national television.
It was something. I feel like Nikki, a lot of these things have been relationship wise, and I was like, oh my god, this
I even told you in your live, Rhea legitimately broke up with her girl.
It made me kind of sad.
And here's the thing: you did it wrong. They did it wrong.
I mean, it's not that hard to do a tag team breakup, but it seemed like they were talking for too much. It seemed like they were talking for too long.
I'm talking about who turned on who. Really, they did it wrong.
Really?
I did not want Nikki to turn on Rhea. No.
Huh.
I wanted Rhea to turn on Nikki so bad.
I feel like that was way too predictable.
Which kind of made that better, though. It made it better that Nikki turned it, because now, is she going to be a super villain?
Oh, God.
Or is she just going to go back to... First of all, she needs to take the superhero gimmick off, and she needs to go back to sanity.
Yes.
Sanity,
or
Nikki
something
Cross.
Equivalent.
Or something equivalent. She can't be sanity now, because, everybody in sanity's gone. But yeah, something equivalent to that. It kind of made the segment a little bit better in a sense, because you didn't really know who was going to turn on who. When Nikki was actually standing on the ropes, that's when I was like, all right, Rhea, let's go. Hit her. Let's do it. And I saw you too on your live. You were waiting for it too. But then all of a sudden you just see a throat slash to Rhea, and I was like, holy shit! She actually turned on her. And I was like, let's go. But in all fairness, this was only going to be a match between Nikki versus Zelina Vega, which never materialized, so thank God it didn't.
Yeah.
But this was way better. The only reason I call it probably one of the worst segments in quite some time is because of the way they did it. You legitimately had two women break up with each other on national television in actual relationship fashion.
It made me sad.
I just feel like if you were gonna do some kind of tag team breakup, I thought WWE would just go the safe route and they'd either do a tag team match or a singles match or something of that nature. Rhea tries to help Nikki and it costs her in the end, and all of a sudden they shove each other, and it's a brawl, and that's how you do it. That's how WWE does it, at least, right? It's typical WWE breaking up of a tag team. But in a way, this was bad, but in a way, this was good because you did not know what the heck is going to happen next. And now we're just trying to wait to see what Nikki does after it.
That's what next week will probably be
and you know they're going to do some kind of thing in the Rumble.
Yeah, it looks like the superhero gimmick isn't done. It just seems like she's just going to be alone again, which is heartbreaking to me because I want this to end, please. But whoever ends up winning this feud, I hope it leads to somebody out of them getting put into like a singles thing. So hopefully both of them now, once the feud is over, they can like contend for a championship because we all know what Rhea can do. And even though Nikki as champion was just like she cashed in on Money in the Bank and then she lost like very quickly after. So I don't know if I really am down with that. But yeah, I really want Rhea to be a singles competitor again. I think that's what I want the most.
I think that's what we're going to get here. Now that they are officially broken up, it's just now Rhea's the baby face, and it seems like Nikki's going to be the heel, but she's trying to be a superhero at the same time. I don't know. It's going to be a weird dynamic with Nikki, which is going to be good, though, because now we can actually kind of see some kind of character growth with or without that type of a gimmick. So we'll see that. I would go over what they said here, but it was a legitimate breakup saying, Nikki was trying to figure out if she was a better wrestler than Rhea or something of that nature, or trying to figure out where anybody's head was lying. She asked if they could still be friends and all that kind of stuff. It was a legit breakup on national television. You guys saw it if you actually watched Raw. If you didn't, it's probably on their YouTube. So you can probably see the breakup on YouTube, which will probably get a good amount of hits because normally tag team breakups Normally tag team breakups in WWE actually do pretty good on YouTube. So you'll find it there. Seems like you got your laptop back and running.
Somewhat.
We have some 24/7 title garbage. That's for another time. Omos took on the second coming of James Ellsworth, Nick Sanders. Almost squashed him, but then again, it's Nick Sanders, and he should get contracted by WWE within the next week. So we'll see what happens. And then he'll be teamed up with AJ Styles, and then that's your next tag team for AJ. So there you go. I'm telling you, it's James Ellsworth 2.0. Then all of a sudden, Jon Moxley's going to come back, and he's going to save his life.
I can't do that again. I can't. Can't do it.
Don't worry, guys. Jon Moxley is not returning. You know, actually, some people think that that's actually going to happen in the Royal Rumble match at the number 30 spot.
Really?
Some people think that Jon Moxley is going to return in the Rumble at the number 30 spot because Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are fighting at the Rumble.
Huh.
And then we're going to get the Shield triple threat at WrestleMania when we already had that at Battlegrounds.
I'm so burnt out with this Shield stuff, so I'm not even like in that.
But that's not happening, guys. So don't get your hopes up.
He didn't look like he wanted to come back at any time. I think he left.
They buried him on his way out. Why would he ever want to come back?
I think he's done. I don't know.
John is supposed to be making a comeback, but not for WWE. He's slated to actually come back this month, though, for AEW. So we'll see if that actually happens.
That's good.
Obviously, his rehab must have been doing well. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be talking about that. But good job for him because that's a very, very hard thing to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Point is, though, Omos squashed Nick Sanders. Omos looked pretty bad in this squash match against Nick Sanders, but it's Omos, so what are you going to do? Omos can't even walk, let alone throw people over the top rope. So please do not let this man win the Rumble. Please.
He's number 30.
Omos?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Is that actually confirmed?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably not.
Oh, yeah. So not only are we going to announce that we're in the Royal Rumble, we're going to announce our numbers, too. That would be even more terrible.
I would burst out laughing if they'd say, yeah, let's give the numbers. You got to watch now. No, I don't. Ugh.
But yeah, and people are legitimately pushing on Twitter for Omos to win the Rumble too. I'm like, you guys must be fucking on crack because you know he can't walk, right? The man can't walk. You can't have him win the Rumble. Like you just can't.
Mm-hmm.
And you even said on your live that it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that could happen.
I think Johnny Knoxville has a chance, like a legitimate chance.
Oh, dear God.
And I would lose my freaking mind in here if he did. So it's just, oh.
I'm going to be Booker T right now. Tell me you did not just say that.
I think he did. Look, y'all see freaking Johnny Knoxville throw something like out. Who would he throw over? Throw Austin Theory over the top rope.
He threw Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah, he throws Sami Zayn over the top rope to win it. I don't know what happens after that. I think I would just dissipate into like a pool of dust. I think that'll be it. I would disintegrate. That would be my final stroke.
If Veer actually came out at the number 30 spot, he'd get the biggest pop of all time.
He would. I would. Like, oh my God, they sent him. There he is.
They sent Veer.
Finally, God.
Send Nick Sanders, please. Number 30.
Nick, yes, give Nick.
Send Nick.
Please.
Send Adam. Send Adam Copeland. Because Adam Copeland was up next. Edge. And the Cutting Edge. Yeah. With his wife. Beth Phoenix. This was such a good segment. I
did like this. Thank you.
I like Edge in everything that he does, so I'm kind of biased. I'm an Edgehead to the day I die, really. But
yeah.
But I just love everything that Edge and Beth Phoenix are doing right now. Miz, he's okay. He's kind of fallen off since the Intercontinental Championship run, but man, Edge is so good on the mic. So Edge threw up a video package for Beth Phoenix. Everybody's saying how great Beth Phoenix is, and she is an amazing talent, and I'm glad she's back. Together, they've accumulated 35 titles as a couple, and they are the only couple in the WWE Hall of Fame, which is kind of nuts if you think about it, but it is true. But more than that, she's a wrecking machine, and he sends a video package up to the highlights of Beth Phoenix's incredible career. Edge then says that he's very proud, and he hands her the floor. This is where Beth got nuts.
Yeah, she had to calm down.
Beth needs to calm down.
She had to calm down. Okay. Don't need to know that, ma'am.
she just didn't know if Beth was just trying to butter her up for something later on in the night, and they were just trying to flirt with each other. That to me kind of seemed a little bit cringeworthy, and I was like, Beth, please still make it PG. Please. This is still a PG show at the end of the day.
I don't want to know about sexy time. I promise I don't. I'm fine.
You guys got 2 kids probably watching in the back right now. You like, come on now. You got Lyric and Ruby backstage, probably sitting in Triple H's chair because Triple H ain't back there anymore.
Oh my God, he's not.
Watching the show. Like, you got those 2 watching the show while you're flirting with your husband on national television.
It was funny. Kind of.
I mean, so Edge tries to laugh and just tries to get himself comfortable again because he's kind of a little embarrassed. But Beth says, listen, that video package is great, but it's time to talk business here. She says she's got a lot in store for Maurice, and it's the endless just jokes and everything are going to come to a stop after Royal Rumble. Miz and Maurice then come out to the stage, and Miz insults the fans of Philadelphia in epic fashion. You were getting really pissed off.
Yeah, he had to watch his mouth. He has to watch his mouth. I don't know. He had to calm down.
He was pretty much doing any kind of sport team that Philadelphia fans were just really getting really upset about, including Locke. So
I'm not even a Sixers fan. I was just offended that he was just talking crazy about my city. I don't like that.
So Miz says that he knew Edge and Phoenix would come out and slander all the fans, but he wants Edge to remember that he had him beat until Edge brought Beth out there to do some things. What kind of a man lets his wife fight his own battles? Edge then says, that's kind of rich coming from you, considering you were the one that blocked a spear with your wife. So in a way, you're the one that does that, not me. Miz then shouts, slander! Slander! That's not what happened, and you know that's not what happened. But I know what's going to happen. And then he points to the Titantron for a video package of Maurice. And you called it on your goddamn stream, and I was very upset with you at that moment.
Yes.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Give
Why?
me the Maurice video
What
package.
has Maurice done in WWE more than Beth Phoenix?
That's what I was like. Give me the video
Nothing.
package, and they did it.
Nothing.
I was overjoyed.
The only thing that she done was probably I think she was only a one-time Divas champion, and won the Divas search. That's it. I think that's really the only thing that Maurice has done in WWE.
Freaking hate the Divas search, man. That's nuts. That they kept showing footage of that, and I was like, oh my God, I hate this. But I just wanted the video package from Maurice. Cause I wanted to see what they would show, and it made me laugh. So that's what I.
That's exactly it. That's the only stuff that she has here on her Wikipedia page.
Oh, they showed everyone complimenting Beth, and they're like, yeah, nah, Maurice, she's on TV. Like
she's a 2-time Divas champion and a Divas Championship tournament winner, and then the Divas Search winner. That's it. That's the only stuff that she has listed on her Wikipedia page.
It was great.
And then obviously her TV shit. But yeah. So they do the video package, and all that. So the fans boo after Maurice's video package airs in great fashion. Thank you, Philadelphia, for actually doing that. Miz then asks if they realize how much of a star she is, how lucky they are to see her in person. Laugh was marking out over there in Philadelphia, saying, yes, I am. I'm a very happy Laugh. I'm a very happy man. I'm like, you are insane. You're not happy. No, you're not. You're watching Raw. You're never happy when you're watching Raw. And then all of a sudden, just because Maurice is here, you're like, yes.
Yes.
Best day of my life? Nah. You know that's not true. That's slander. That's blasphemy. And you know that. It's to the highest degree.
Maurice is here. Now I'm on the show. So I'm talking about.
Thank you, Josh. I'm glad I'm better too. This. Oh, and then Josh just slanders the Falcons. Moving on.
Don't do anything.
So, Miz says Edge and Beth should be honored to even have them near the ring. Edge says that Maurice is a former champion. She proved everyone wrong, just like the Miz. They respect her, but his wife can deadlift a Buick. She smashes things, mostly people. Pause.
I wasn't even going to this man just said pause. Okay.
First of all, Roman's saying that he's smashing people. Now all of a sudden it's Beth's gimmick too. You guys need to figure something out. And he'd be scared at if Maurice ever stepped into the ring with her. I think even Edge said that when he was even introducing Beth to even come out to the ring, that she had thighs that could squash a watermelon. I don't know. That was Edge.
They could crack a coconut.
Crack a coconut, squash a watermelon, crack a coconut. Same, like
Still impressive.
not really the same thing, but
Still impressive.
yeah, that's still impressive. Beth says that Maurice has been interfering in Edge's matches for far too long, and now that she is here, Maurice is just a little church mouse. Unfortunately, the time for apologies are gone, and at the Royal Rumble, she is going to wreck Maurice, and the fans will be cheering au revoir. Sorry for badly spoken French. I am French, and I don't even know how to speak it in my own household.
Wow.
Miz then got riled up and tells Maurice to let Beth know how much she is going to destroy and humiliate Beth. While ranting, Maurice just runs away. She just ran away.
I don't know why.
She just ran away. She's like, bye. Somebody must have like her phone must have been vibrating in her back pocket or whatever. It must have been one of her daughters texting her during the show. They must have needed something in the back because she just ran away.
She was terrified.
She must have been terrified to the point where she had to go run to her daughters in the back. So Beth says, listen, while Maurice is too afraid if Maurice is even too afraid to show up, she'll take great pleasure in knocking Mrs. Teeth down his throat. And that's how the segment ends. It was a good segment. Edge and Beth did great. They're always good though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And Miz and Maurice, they could be good, but then again, to me, Miz was at his high point in 2016 during the Intercontinental Championship run. Yeah. Ever since then, he's kind of just. It's not that he's fallen totally flat, but it's like you have him go up and down, up and down, up and down. They're just here.
Pretty much.
I'm just glad that this is actually happening at the Rumble and not at WrestleMania when this was originally planned to happen. Because if it's happening at the Rumble and not at WrestleMania, that must mean that they have something bigger and bigger for plans for Edge at Mania, right? Because this is the final year of his deal.
Hold on.
This is the final year of his deal, guys. If you guys didn't know, he had a 3-year deal with WWE. This is the final year of his deal, and I believe it ends at WrestleMania. So, as far as I'm aware of, that was the current contract status for Edge. I might just want to look that up just to make sure, but I know this is the final year of his contract. So, yeah, this is the final year of his WWE contract. And yeah, it looks like WrestleMania is probably going to be one of the last dates on that contract. So, if we're getting this match now at the Rumble instead of WrestleMania when it was originally slated to happen, it looks like Edge has something way bigger planned for WrestleMania than what we thought. Or what was originally planned. Which I'm very happy about.
Yeah.
Because if this was one of his final matches on his WWE contract just ever, I would have been like, wow, what a way to go out, huh?
That would have been something. I don't know how well it would have worked, but I mean,
telling you right now, AJ Styles or Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, please.
I wouldn't mind that.
That's how I would book him going out. If this is his final year of his contract, you have him either be put over by, well, not be put over, but you have him put over a guy like Kevin Owens or AJ Styles on his way out. AJ Styles doesn't technically really need it because he's already that established of a superstar, but Kevin Owens, I'd be good at that.
That doesn't sound bad. Idea.
Speaking of AJ Styles, he took on Austin Theory. Austin Theory is so goddamn good in the ring, dude. He is so good. And
his gimmick is
yeah. That's the only thing that's really holding him back.
Yeah.
Him being paired with Vince McMahon and his gimmick. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
But AJ Styles won by disqualification here due to Grayson Waller. And guess what, dude? Grayson Waller came out to absolutely nothing. He attacked AJ Styles in a sea of nothingness.
They didn't care.
Nobody knew who the fuck he was.
They did not care.
I didn't even know what the fuck was happening until they actually revealed, he actually turned around. I didn't know who it was. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then it actually turned out to be Grayson Waller. Now, Grayson Waller and AJ Styles are going to be facing off tomorrow on NXT 2.0 in the main event. Or what should be the main event.
Yeah.
It has to be. If AJ Styles is not in the main event of NXT 2.0, then you're already ruining his NXT run. But that just goes to show you that Philadelphia has no idea what NXT 2.0 is. Nobody knew what Grayson Waller was.
I thought they gave him nothing. Okay.
Okay, so it wasn't just me that thought that he was just coming out to a sea of nothingness. Like,
Oh no, by that time the crowd was done. The crowd was over with at that point, so it was just white noise kind of. It was just like listening.
like it was bad. The match was good, but it just ended in disqualification, and it was because of Grayson Waller, and nobody knew who he was. So there was that. Kids were probably so confused. It's like, who's that guy, Dad? Like, what? Who's that guy?
That's not relevant.
That's not relevant. That's not Cena. Who won? John Cena.
Grayson Waller won. Seems like it.
Who won? Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
Grayson Waller. Actually, you know what? No, I kind of want to talk about that right now. Grayson Waller, AJ Styles. Who's going to win that? It has to be Grayson, right? You got to play Grayson.
Probably.
Or AJ. I don't know. I don't know what happens there.
I'm gonna pick AJ. I'm gonna pick AJ, even though I feel like Grayson should win, kinda.
I don't know. I really don't care. I don't even know if I'm going to be watching the entirety of NXT 2.0. I might just watch that match.
I have to. I gotta see the fate of Elektra Lopez.
Oh wait, that's right. Her fate is on the line, isn't it?
Yeah, whoever wins.
Is it like an Electra pole and then is it like an Electra on a pole match or something like that? I don't know.
That's a crazy sentence. That's. I know what you're trying to say, but that's nuts.
Right? It's got to be something of that nature, right?
It is. Whoever
I
wins
know I heard it somewhere.
Whoever wins gets to go home with her. That was the words NXT used, not me.
I know I heard an Electra on the pole match. I know I did.
I don't know what show you were watching.
I heard that somewhere.
Where did you? Never mind. I don't want to know.
It was probably Twitter.
All I know is Alexis last week she said, "Whoever wins, I'm going home with." And I was like, "Okay."
Is it just a normal match then?
Yeah. No poll.
Oh, then, dude.
No poll.
They missed an opportunity then.
No freaking poll. It's just Zion versus Santos, and whoever wins.
You could have at least put Electra in a shark cage or something like that.
That'd have been hilarious. They can't go back that far. That's like, oh my god. They can't go back that far.
Didn't they do? They did that with somebody recently. I don't know. They probably put it with Jericho. Oh, that's Jericho. Jericho.
One of them was in the thing. Something like that.
After a commercial break, it was the Alexa Bliss was in therapy.
Oh yeah.
That was nuts, dude.
I posted that because I just thought that was interesting. I was like, huh.
So she's still in the twisted Bray Wyatt kind of character thing. The psychiatrist welcomes her and tells her to take a deep breath. And he continues to tell her that they need to admit that she has a problem. Bliss then mockingly asks to fix her. And he says that it's obvious that she's done some good work on her own, but he needs to know how she feels before they can finally get her on the road to recovery. So he shows her the video of Charlotte destroying Lily, the doll. And he asks how that makes her feel. Bliss smiles and says that the video made her thirsty. So she grabs a pitcher of water in the glass and pours water into it. But she fills the glass until it overflows, just like that orange juice diagram that Loft did on his live a couple of weeks ago. I didn't get a pop for that. Okay.
Sorry, I was muted.
That she grabs the psychiatrist by the tie and asks how that makes him feel. Psychiatrist says not so great, but she says that she feels dandy and stands up. Bliss then tosses the table, rips up a book, and smashes a keyboard and mocks breathing techniques that the psychiatrist told her to do. She throws a vase of flowers into the TV, and he runs off, and she throws something at him before screaming. She said, "See you next week, Doc." And like, it's as soon as I heard her say "See you next week, Doc," I automatically thought of Daffy Duck for some reason, and then she threw the thing.
You should do some like ball at him or something.
Like, it was not a medicine ball. It was not a stress ball. It was something way more gigantic. I was like, dude, what are you doing?
It looked like a rock. She threw Dwayne at him. She threw the rock. It's a big rock.
This is going to be very interesting to see where the heck Alexa Bliss goes from here.
Yeah.
But I just thought we were going to get this Bray Wyatt shit done and over with.
Me too. I thought
They're
it was
still
over.
not over it.
Guess not.
They're still not over it.
Guess
You
not.
fired him months ago. Let the gimmick die. You already killed it in Saudi Arabia, and it's still trying to be found. Thank you, Goldberg, by the way. Oh, and by the way, did you hear Moose called out Goldberg, too?
Now, why would he do that?
I tried to tell you in your live, but comments were going too fast. You didn't see it.
That's
He
nuts.
said who's next in the promo that he did after Hard to Kill.
He wants to come to WWE so bad.
If we get Goldberg versus Moose at WrestleMania, I'm dying. Okay? Moose has to win that match.
I don't want to watch that. Ew.
Called out Goldberg. And he even said, I think he said in the promo something about one of the greatest superstars that also played in the NFL said, "Who's next?"
Wow.
So obviously Goldberg, did he play in the NFL? I really don't, I can't even believe I'm actually even Googling Goldberg right now.
I think so. I'm pretty sure he did.
Bill Goldberg. Fuck this man. First of all, age 55. WWE. He was apparently in All Japan Pro Wrestling in 2002 to 2003.
Wow.
Great. Football career, there he is. Goldberg earned a scholarship at the University of Georgia Bulldogs football team where he was a defensive tackle. Of course he was. He was taken by the Los Angeles Rams in the 11th round.
God.
With the 301st overall selection in the 1990 NFL Draft.
Goodness gracious.
You suck.
Oh my goodness.
He played for the Los Angeles Rams, the Sacramento Surge, whatever that is, the Sacramento Gold Miners, whatever that is. Oh, well, he was an Atlanta Falcon.
Yay?
He was an Atlanta Falcon from 1992 to 1994.
Oh joy.
The final team that he was a part of was on the practice squad of the Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
He was a World Bowl champion.
That was the World Bowl.
I don't even. The World Bowl was the annual American Football Championship game of the World League of American Football / NFL Europe.
Huh.
The World Bowl was played each year from 1991 to 2007, except 1993 and 1994. So technically, not each year from 1991 to 2007. So you're fucking lying, Wikipedia. That's Wikipedia. So yeah, he's a 2-time World Bowl champion. Who the fuck cares? It's Goldberg. I don't even want to talk about him anymore. But yeah, so Moose, you better kick his ass for WrestleMania if that actually did happen. Point is, Alexa Bliss, she's still the Fiend. I hate it. Get it off my television. Just get her back on Monday Night Raw with a normal gimmick, please. Thank you. And then the match I turned on, but then immediately turned to mute because this woman was on my television screen in one of the most ridiculous outfits I have ever seen.
Oh, man.
Becky Lynch in some kind of Vincent Van Housen goat kind of thing. She was in some kind of outfit tonight that made her look absolutely atrocious. And her mic skills aren't even that better.
I wasn't immediately angry when this started.
Oh, I was angry. I was bad. I was mad. I almost turned it off right then and there. I really did. And then when she got on commentary, oh God.
Commentary was hard. It wasn't bad in the first, and then she got into the thing where she's like doesn't stop talking, and I was like, yeah, this is what I don't like. You know,
I voiced my displeasure. I voiced my displeasure very hard. I pretty much said what you said on your live.
I wanted to cry, but I mean, it wouldn't have solved anything.
So I said, quote, why does Becky Lynch have to be on commentary with 5 exclamation points?
I don't like when she's on commentary. I really don't.
She takes you completely out of the match because she never shuts up.
That's what I was trying to explain to people. Like, it's just the never stop talking point. That's what's annoying me.
Her voice carries on, and this is another thing you said. Her voice carries on, and since she's got a mic, it makes it even louder.
Yeah.
I watch anything that she does on mute because that's how bad she truly is. Hashtag WWE Raw.
I mean, the promo was okay. The promo was all right. The promo was okay.
It's typical Becky Lynch in a promo.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some positive in what she did because it wasn't the worst, you know.
Because you brought up the 27 seconds again at SummerSlam, that I fucking hated.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I don't like that.
And then you say that we have another Celt in here, in the form of Doudrop, who she respects for doing what she wants to do and demanding her spot. Fine, you put over Doudrop in that kind of a sense, but who cares? Like nobody cares what you have to say at this point, Becky. Nobody cares.
We should have answered right here.
Yeah.
She told us. Definitely did.
because the triple threat match happened. Bianca Belair, Doudrop, and Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan. I don't know if. Hold on. There we go. I don't know if she just wanted to go ham, even though she knew the fact that she wasn't going to lose, or she was just going to do anything in her power to possibly change the outcome of this match, regardless if she knew the outcome or not. Because this woman, she fights her ass off every single night.
She's trying so hard.
And she tries so hard, like you say. And it doesn't matter the outcome. You're gonna see her in the fight of her life, whether you like it or not, and you just can't not respect that.
They do not like her.
Liv Morgan hit her head so hard on those steel steps.
That's what I was wondering. Was that a head spot? Oh,
that was her head.
She smacked off. I was like, oh my God. It sounded terrible.
That was her head.
Oh my God, it sounded bad.
She hit her head so hard on those steel steps and still continued to fight.
It was such a bad bump.
At that point in the match, Becky and Bianca were running around the ring trying to do something. Bianca kicked Becky in the midsection so hard that she screamed bloody murder. And then, so Bianca chases Becky around the ring, but Lynch then throws her over the announce desk. Doudrop drags Liv Morgan over to the corner and hits a seating senton from the middle rope to get the 1, 2, 3. She hit the bonsai drop. That's her finish right now in WWE, and I mean, it works for her because it works for her because it's Doudrop. So I'm glad they actually found some kind of a finisher like that for her. But shoot, now you're gonna have to make me look things up. I can't even remember, honestly. I never even watched an episode of NXT UK.
Oh.
But I will look it up just to give her some credit, because Piper Niven does deserve some credit here and there at times when it does come to that. There we go.
Gimmick cool right now.
So let's hear. Piper Niven versus Rhea Ripley on NXT UK in 2019. Let's see that.
Don't wait till Super Bowl 50. Sits for 3-0.
All right. So we skip. Go to the end of the match. This is the actual full match is on YouTube Live. So if you actually want to see a Rhea Ripley match in NXT UK, it's right here.
I kind of doing the one.
So Mrs. Splash in the corner, and of course there's an ad.
Gotcha.
Scream on Friday. I don't want to scream on Friday. And it showed her into the ring post by Rhea Ripley. Oh gosh, there's a cannonball in the corner.
What?
A cannonball by Doudrop. With Piper. Falcon Arrow. Jesus, a Falcon Arrow. 1, 2. Okay. Looks like her finish was the Falcon Arrow. Damn.
Wow. Why don't she do that anymore? I love the Falcon Arrow.
Huh. Okay. So that's what finished the match here. So
Damn.
could be that. But yeah. But now it's the bonsai drop.
Interesting.
But yeah, so Doudrop, the number one contender, will get the Raw Women's Championship match at the Rumble. WWE tried to flip-flop us every single hour, it seemed like, because during the first hour, they told us that the championship match is going to be tonight. Then the second hour, they told us that the opportunity was for the Rumble. And then we got to the match, and the announcer said it was for the Rumble. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. Okay, good. We get it for the Rumble. That's good. But in the beginning of the show, they said it was going to be the match for championship was actually going to be for tonight. And I was like, okay, then I'm going to have to change the ending of my Raw preview, because I always put a comment, because I said it was going to be for the Rumble when they said it was tonight in the first hour of the show. So I don't know. They had their own thing going on, but Doudrop's now the number one contender. We already talked about it, but just thoughts on all of this, and then we get on out of here. This is the first episode of OTB in the books for 2022.
I'm disappointed. I don't want rematches, but at the same time, like I said earlier, Piper has not been built up enough to me to even like make sense to be a contender for Becky's championship. Although I do feel like she might be Becky at Rumble. So just putting that out there. I don't know. It seems like we're going that direction. We got a long time to go. Well, not really a long time, but it's enough time to build something up. So I'm not.
How do you think this feud's going to be built up? We got 3 weeks.
I'm sure the promo between these two is going to be something. So I mean, I want her to get into more of her serious tone, which I know she can.
If they have history with each other from the independents back in on their side of the pond, I'd really like to see that kind of a story go between them. If they have history, that is. If they don't, then obviously they can't really get into that kind of a detail. But if they do, then use it, because that's obviously something that you can build upon.
Definitely.
But I mean, we asked for that for so long with other rivalries, and we never actually got it. So who knows?
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, that's something I would really want to see if they actually have history. Go with it and use it, because you have footage anyway. You have footage from Evolve. You bought out Evolve, and both of them were a part of Evolve at one point, I believe. So you have it. Use it. I don't know, but yeah, that's it. That's Outside the Brand, episode 114, Monday Night Raw. We are back, and tomorrow, episode 115, we're going to be talking about the ending of the brand split, or what should be the end of the brand split come this WrestleMania season.
Exactly.
If they're not even at least thinking about it, they're already on the wrong side of the turntable.
Yeah.
They need to be at least thinking about it.
I hope
Because
so.
Rock already said title for title, so we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll be 24 and 55 minutes. We said that we weren't going to be here at 3 o'clock, but it almost actually turned out to be the case. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, guys, that's what happens when we had to talk about the stuff that we talked about in the first 45 minutes of the show, because those are two pretty prominent things in the world of professional wrestling right now, and those had to be talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys missed that conversation, it's in the first 45 minutes of the show, so you guys can have fun with that. That's your official ending of the Monday Night Raw review for January 10th, 2022. Is there anything else you have to say, Locke, before we get out of here? OTB is back and ready to go, and we will do this for the time being until we actually have to step away again, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to be anytime soon.
Yeah, thank y'all for coming out. I have to go to bed because I have work in the morning and I'm very tired and I don't want to fall asleep on stream again. Tough.
That's very true. All right. Yeah, so everybody get some sleep. Hopefully we see Dr. Shelby next Monday.
Yeah.
Thank you, Corbin. But yeah, guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Have a good night. And I'll talk to you. We'll all talk to you in the morning. Peace.